been a teacher myself, and so thank you so much for joining the webinar today. And I'm going to take you through the maths features of our Oxford Advantage program for grades 3 to 5. Uh, as you must have seen in the previous webinars that these are the subjects that we offer in Oxford Advantage. And today we are going to discuss maths. Then these are the mascots that we have in our books. So here is the math mascot, that is a mathematical traveler that you find in the books popping up from time to time. And we have, so these are the themes that we have in Oxford Advantage. So in part A, we have us and the world, nature at play, and our country. And in part B, we have these three themes. Then this is the detailed table of contents for grade 3, 4, and 5. The themes are mentioned, and under the theme, the chapters that have been covered, the chapters are also mentioned. So each theme starts with a theme opening page. And these theme opening pages are beautifully illustrated pages that you can see two of the pages from our books here on the screen. And here we have given, mostly unplugged activities, for the students to engage in. So unplugged activities are the activities that give an opportunity, to the students to decode a problem on a worksheet, not necessarily on a screen. So, and these are based on, some of the activities you'll find they are if and then logic. Some would be based on patterns, some on number decoding. So, like this, we have tried to given a variety of unplugged activities on our theme opening pages, and the pages look beautiful. Now, moving on to the chapter opening pages. So, every theme has, a few chapters under it. So a theme may have 2 chapters, 3 chapters. So the theme opens with a theme opening page. Then the first chapter, which is there in the theme, that chapter opens. And then we have the chapter opening page. I'll just show you one of the pages. Yeah, so this is the chapter opening page. Now on each chapter opening page, we have 3 features. So the first one is I wonder. So this is a chapter numbers up to 10,000. And the I wonders section has, a question for the students, a simple but thought-provoking question that the students will actually, it is just to generate curiosity among students. Like in this chapter, we have, this is a chapter on numbers up to 10,000. So we have, why can't a 4-digit number start with a 0? Right? So, yeah. So why can't a 4-digit number start with a 0? So obviously, when you start with a chapter, if you start the chapter with a thought-provoking question, then children are going to, develop more interest in it. Because maths is, I think, from my experience also, and you also would be feeling that maths is a subject that is considered to be a little abstract and dull, as compared to other subjects. But there are means and ways to make it more interesting by finding the right strategies to deal with the subject. And so this is, when you start with the chapter with a question, then it is definitely going to inculcate curiosity in the students. Then the second is I would. I would section has learning outcomes. So this has all the pointers, the outcomes that the students are going to learn the concepts in that particular chapter, and these have been mapped to the competencies and curricular goals that have been specified in the NCF. So here, like we have build numbers up to 10,000, identify the place value and face value of numbers, compare and order numbers, identify even and odd numbers, and round off numbers. Now, the third is the I know section. This has sorry, just a second. Uh, okay, so the I know section, it has an activity to assess the previous knowledge of the learner. So maths is, specifically maths is a subject where you always build upon what the students already know. It is, the if suppose I have to teach fractions, suppose I have to teach addition of fractions, then the children must know what a fraction is, what are the different types of fractions, and how to add two numbers. So these are all the prerequisite, these concepts are a prerequisite for the child to learn how to add fractions. So this activity will ensure that the teacher can assess, okay, this much knowledge or whatever is required for the child to learn in this particular chapter, the children already know, so that they can move forward in the chapter. Next, okay, so these are the top three changes that we have made in our revised edition. First is ELPS approach that is recommended by NCF. So if I may ask, we can make it a little interactive. What does E stand for? If any one of you would like to answer in the chat box, in the ELPS approach. Yeah. Uh, in the ELPS approach, what is E? Okay, we can see a lot of answers coming in. Yes, it is experience. And L, even if you don't know, let's make a guess. It will be fun. L stands for, yes, it's language. And P, yeah, picture. And then the last S, yes, it's symbol, right? Included, and case study based questions. Okay, so we will go to all these point by point. Okay, so let's look at the ELPS approach that we have tried to follow in our book. So, as you know, just I just mentioned that maths is an abstract subject, and it's not very easy. If we straight away start with the symbolic representation. Like even if multiplication, if we just say that 2 plus 3, the child, if first time we are introducing 2 plus 3, so the child will say, okay, what is 2 and what is 3 and what is plus, right? But if we make it an experience, if you give, okay, these are two apples and you have three apples, and how many apples do we have? If the child can actually feel, the real objects, so that becomes an experience for the child. So, when the children can experience something, then they are not, they don't feel dull, and they will take interest in learning more about it. So the first step, it's a four-step pedagogy that we have. So the first is experience. So children will actually work with real objects and explore things. Then comes language part. So languages, math language, even if we don't mention it otherwise, children are using maths language in day-to-day life, and it's very important to build upon that, because in maths, like if we are solving word problems. So I have seen, as a math teacher, as it's my experience, that even if a child is very good at calculations and the child know how to multiply numbers or divide numbers, but if the child is not able to comprehend the language part of the question, like mostly in word stories, then the child will not be able to solve it. So it's very important. So like we say that, okay, you're adding something, so how many in all, or you're subtracting, so this, these are how many, these things are left. So these are the mathematical terms that we use in our language. So then the child has to have that confidence. So the second part is language, third is pictures, and fourth is symbols. So if we look at this example that I have taken from our book, this here we are trying to introduce the commutative property of multiplication. Okay, so we're not straight away saying that 2 into 4 is equal to 4 into 2. We are starting with an activity. So this is a feature in our book, Let's Experience, wherein children sit in pairs and they have colorful strips of papers, and then they're supposed to arrange the strips in two different ways. And the condition is that there should be same number of strips in each row. So they will get a sense of, okay, they're doing it, they're exploring things on their own. And then comes a pictorial representation. Here we're showing that how, through dots, through pictures, that these are two rows of four dots, and then there are four rows of two dots. Now we are asking a question that, okay, can you identify the similarity between these two? So maybe the arrangements are different, but the product is the same. They will arrive at a conclusion. So here we are moving from concrete to abstract. So this is the ELP's approach that we have followed, and it is definitely going to work and definitely going to build that interest in the students to learn more about maths. Now, then we have HOTS worksheets in our workbooks. Now, HOTS, all of you would know, it is higher order thinking skill. And even in NEP, there has been a lot of stress upon building these mathematical skills in the students, like critical thinking, analyzing, and problem solving. So that is the purpose of dedicating one worksheet to this section. And here, these questions will push the children to think beyond the regular calculations that they usually do. And so maybe we can just look at one question. And so I have a question for you. This is from our HOTS worksheet. And I would request all of you to solve it. So there is a three-digit number. After adding one to that number, you need to regroup the ones, tens, and hundreds. What is that number? So you could just type in the answers in the chat box. Yeah, right. Yes, it is 999. Right. So we are not asking the children, if we say, okay, add 1 to 999. So this will be a basic difficult, the difficulty level is very low. And if you look at the Bloom's taxonomy, so if we are just the question is based on just understanding or remembering, then it is not a hot question, definitely. But here the child needs to analyze that, okay, what number should be at the ones place, so that after adding one it gets regrouped, so only option left is 9. Then what should happen at the tens place, and what should happen at the hundreds place? So a lot of analysis is going on. You're evaluating, okay, whether 8 would fit, whether 9 would fit. So these are higher order thinking skill questions that we have given in the workbook. Thank you for answering this one. And the third one is case study based questions. As CBC is also giving a lot of stress upon case study based questions, in the higher grades, but we have tried to incorporate this feature right, in the primary level, so that children are more familiar, with these kinds of questions, and they are comfortable and they get enough practice to solve these questions. So basically, case study based questions connect math with the real world. So there is a context given to the child, and then there are more than one question, and these are mostly they are based on more than one concept. So there are many steps in a case study based questions. Then there are, you could take up more than one concept in it and give multiple questions. So these are case study based questions that we have included this time in the revised edition. Okay, now we have chapter ending feature, which is the I can section. Now here we have different indicators. If you can see here, I can section is a self assessment section where children can actually assess themselves, like how their learning has happened in that particular chapter. And these are mapped with the learning outcomes that we have given at the beginning of the chapter, as I showed you before. So I would section, if you remember, it has all the learning outcomes. So the learning outcome was build numbers up to 10,000. Then the same thing has been mapped here in the I can section, that okay, the child will know, okay, if I am able to do this thing confidently on my own or not, or maybe I need some more help, in solving a question or understanding a concept. And it comes as a handy tool for the teachers also. The teacher doesn't need to wait for a formative assessment or a summative assessment to know whether the children have understood a concept or not. Right at the end of the chapter, the children would do this assessment, and the teacher would know, okay, maybe this is a concept where most children have said that they need help, and maybe the teacher can take it up, that particular concept or topic again using a different method or strategy. So this is the purpose of this I can section. uh, Moving forward. Okay, now every theme concludes with a theme ending page. And we have two very nice features here. One is life skills, and another one is fun tasks. So fun tasks are fun and engaging exercises, and you could see these small icons here. There could be, we have tried to integrate the fun tasks with sports or with art. So you will see, these little icons there mapped to the fun task features. And then the life skill sections, it's using math. We have tried that, how can we develop life skills in the children, because I think these things cannot be taught in isolation. You have to weave it into your curriculum, into your topics, so that children can learn these very basic life skills. We can have a look at one of the activities that we have given in our book. And again, this is for you. If you could just read it and um, you know answer, like, what is the life skill you think that the child is going to learn through this activity. So this activity is prepare a sandwich with your parents, make sandwiches in all the different shapes you know about. The recipe given below will make 6 sandwiches. Round off the quantities to their nearest tens. So, if you would answer in the chat box, what life skills you think that the child is going to learn. And there are more than, there could be many life skills, not just one. Yeah. So actually, if we see preparing food, it's a basic life skill. And when you work with your parents, so it's kind of a teamwork, collaboration, that's happening in the family. So you learn all these basic life skills, and then you learn the concepts also. So it's an added advantage here. And you will see that how we have designed the activities, like which concept to map to which activity, to which life skill also matters. Because here, if you see, like we have given, okay, you have to round up the quantities to their nearest tens. So rounding off, estimation is very important life skill. Now, here, if suppose onion is mentioned like 275 gram, so we're teaching the children that it's okay in this situation to round up the number. So even if we take 280 instead of 275, it will not make much a difference. So in this case, rounding off is applicable. It would not happen in the case of measurement. So we cannot give this activity in a measurement chapter, because there we need accurate measurements. So that is why such activities have been planned in such a way, so that the children understand that rounding off, if they are learning, then in the real life, what all situations they can round off the numbers and use this, have this application of this concept. Okay, thank you. Okay, now some of the features that you will find are, some are common in all the subjects, but there are some features that are math specific, so specific to math books. One is common errors. So the common errors section highlights mistakes that students frequently make. And I think in maths, many such things that mostly children would make a mistake in suppose dividing a number by zero, or there are actually every chapter you will have some or the other concepts where you will find that there are some common errors. So we are giving this section so that children already know that, okay, this could be a mistake I could make. So while doing the question, they will be extra cautious and aware, and they can understand, reflect, and learn from them. Then there is a do it now section here. It is after you are doing a subtopic, quickly the child can check. It is just one or two questions we are giving before they actually jump onto the exercise which is given within the chapter. After teaching, I have work, I have learned division by two-digit numbers, so the children can quickly solve one or two questions to know, understand that, okay, I have, I'm able to do this or not, right there in the classroom. So this is that. A value for you is again a section where we have tried to teach some values through our math concepts, and they will be based on the concepts of that particular chapter, plus there is some value attached to that question. So how you can actually connect math to real life situations that require thoughtfulness, empathy, and responsible decision making. So it's one of my favorites, that I believe that children should be learning some or the other value or a life skill while they are on their journey of learning mathematics. uh, okay, so and these are some of other like features. Challenge is another, it's a higher order level question, thinking question, that it's there in all the chapters. So it will enhance critical thinking, analysis, and logical reasoning in the students. And let's explore is here we have given thought-provoking questions that that the children, the learners can, with the help of which the learners can also understand their surroundings. So these kind of activities, and there are like many features we are given, so no more can they feel that maths is boring or it's dull. So I'm sure with all these features they will find it interesting. Okay, and two more features. One is Maths Lab activity that you'll find at the end of the chapter. So it's another hands-on activity where children can actually, do a lot of things, and it could be based on more than one concept also that we have covered in the chapter. So that is why it is given at the end, so that you can have more than one concept in one Maths Lab activity. Coming to the theme and practice exercises, we have a chapter and exercise at the end of each chapter. Plus, we have given practice exercises at the end of each theme. So, suppose my theme has numbers and addition and subtraction. So, at the end of the theme, they will have all these, mixed questions from all the chapters. Because usually the tendency is, once you have done a chapter, you go to the next chapter, then they kind of the keep forgetting some of the other things that they have done previously. But here we have all the chapters, practice exercises from all the chapters that have been covered under a particular theme. So this you will find at the end of each theme. Okay, and these are some more features, like did you know, it's just little piece of information that we are giving along with the concept. Like this one is about Shakuntala Devi, the famous mathematician. Then wonder is again based on observations, exploring the surroundings. And here a value for you, I wanted to show you this the icon that you can see, vocal for local. So actually this is to appreciate the promotion of the local culture of the country, which is again has been emphasized in NEP. So these icons you will find in the book with the features that we have given. Then we have comic adventures. It's very interesting, and children usually find it very interesting feature in this. So here we have interesting and engaging comic strips to deliver a concept. So teaching a concept through these comic strips, it's fun for them. Uh, okay, And as this is an integrated course, so I just wanted to show you one of the examples from our book. So here we are teaching factors, and the context that we have given is Akbar and Birbal. So on the left, it is a page from our math book, and on the right, it is a page from our English book. So there is already a story in English about Akbar and Birbal, and the same context has been used in the chapter on factors. So the children will, they will try to relate. So when there is a story to tell, or they can relate to, something that they already know, it will definitely, help them in understanding the concept better and take interest also in the subject that they may not usually find, because factors, multiples, these are the concepts that they do find a little challenging at times. But when you actually have some context, some interesting things to back it up, so they will definitely enjoy it and find it easier. That's all about the student book. Now, the teacher's manual, I will just show you one lesson plan. This is a template from our lesson plan. So how we have structured the plans is we have the chapter name, the concept on which the plan is based, the skills that the child is going to learn through that lesson plan, the learning outcomes, competencies, curricular goals. And then we have the main sections: warm up, getting them ready to begin a concept, and procedure, and then wrap up. So these three sections are there, and then it ends with fun at home, something that they would do at home. So this is just the basic this thing about the teachers manuals. And also in the TMs we have given answer key for the workbook. The answers of student books have been given at the end of the student book only, and workbook answers have been given in teachers manuals. So in details my colleague Sparsh will take you through all this. And thank you so much. I really hope that it was beneficial for you to actually learn about all these features of our books. And now I will just hand it over to Sparsh, my colleague. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yukti. Good evening, everyone. Hope you are liking the session. Can I get a thumbs up in the chat if you are liking the session? Thank you so much for your appreciation. Uh, First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Parsh Gupta. Today, I'll walk you through the digital components of our learning management system and some of the math tools. Let me just share my screen to you.
Sparsh, sorry to interrupt. There is an echo coming from your side. I think Yukti's mic is on. You have put it on. Okay, great.
Let me just
yes, this is good.
First of all, you have to select the subject and class. So first I'll select the class. Let's suppose I'll select grade 3, and then we'll select mathematics. Now, as you can see on the left hand side in the navigation bar, you can see the table of contents in which we have given the chapter names. Also, there is a tab which is which stated as all chapters, and on the top we have given the different components of the book, which are lesson plans, learning resources, question bank, test, and my book. I'll walk you through each of these sections one by one. First, I'll start with the lesson plans. I'll show you one lesson plan and its features. So let me open one lesson plan for you. So I would want to tell you that this is the player version of our lesson plan. You can see 4 different components of this lesson plan. First one is the warm-up. And first of all, I would like to say that what is the need of a lesson plan? Actually, lesson plan is to guide you and help students achieve specific learning outcomes. And now in the warm-up section, you can see innovative tasks to set up the context of the lesson plan. So here we have given innovative tasks for the students and set the context of the entire lesson plan. And now the second would be the procedure, in which we have given the detailed steps to teach a concept. Here you can see we have given detailed concept teaching. Also, some sections are common errors and teach with excellence to boost up the learning. And in the wrap-up section, we have given any kind of activity or some questions which students can dealt in the classroom. Also, we have given a separate section for fun at home, in which you can give some tasks related to your student book. Also, you can give some any other activity for the students to do at home. Also, you can see a launch button over here and a number names, learning materials section over here. Now, what is this? This launch button you can see in some of the lesson plans. We have tagged some learning resources with this specific lesson plan. I'll just want to show you one. You just have to click on launch. And then you can see there is an interactivity linked with this lesson plan. So you can easily use this interactivity or a game or a concept animation to teach in the class. This can also be used as an assessment tool for you guys. Now I'll just move on to the learning resources. As I've already mentioned that we have tagged all of the learning resources with the specific lesson plans. Apart from that, we have given learning resources in this learning resources tab, where you can see all the learning resources for all the chapters. Like we have mentioned in here, you can see 92 learning resources which are tagged with this specific grade 3 book. I just want to show you one. Let me open a concept animation for you. So this is a concept animation in which first an animation will be played, and then after that animation, an interactivity is attached with it, which is based on that animation. So we are calling it as concept animation. So this is the concept animation. Now I'll move on to the question bank, which is the most interesting and important part of our book. So here you can see we have given 717 questions for the entire book. Also, when you go to the filter, you can see that we have categorized the questions with different parts. First is the question type, complexity, classification, marks, source, and mode. Now in question type, we have categorized the questions with these type of questions. First one is short answer, FIBs, and then some more. So if you select one of this section, you will see only those questions. Also, we have categorized the questions in as the complexity of the question. So we have categorized it as easy, medium, and difficult. And also we have tagged our questions with the Bloom's taxonomy verbs, which are remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So we are going from remembering and then to creating. Also, this can be dealt as for the marks as well. So here you can filter these questions according to their marks. Also, we have categorized them as source, in which some of the questions are from the student book or workbook and some are additional questions also. In mode, there are two different sections where some questions are pen and paper. So in that question, the students will require pen and paper, and in online, the students will not require pen and paper. He or she can do it online. So these are the different sections for the question bank. I'll just open one question for you. So this is the multiple choice question. Here you can see that there is a question and then a image of the question is given. If I select this, I'll get the response. So in the summary, you can see that there are 4 different sections. First one is the maximum marks. Second is the scored marks. Third is the complexity. And fourth one is the classification. Now, I want to show you how to create a test for your unit test or for a summative assessment or a formative assessment. Let me show you how to create a test. Now to create a test, you have to click on the button Create Test. Here you can see and click Create Test. So there are 3 toggle buttons over there, over on the top: test details, messages, and preferences. First one is the test details. You have to fill the details in the what you have to mention in the test. So first one is already selected, which is the class, as we are working on the class 3. You can select any kind of theme, any kind of chapter, or any concept. You can select a theme or a chapter or a concept. First, let me show you. Let me select a chapter, which is the first chapter, numbers up to 10,000. Let me select that chapter. You can name your test. So let me give a name to the test. Maybe we can call it Summative Assessment 5. And then if you want to give different sections in the test, you can do that. First, if you want to add a section, you have to click on this add section. So if you see that in some of the mathematics paper, we generally have 3 sections: section A, section B, and section C. So according to that section, you can create your test. So first one is the add section section. Click on that. And then you can name it. First, I'll create a section A. How many questions do you want to give in that section? You have to write over here. So let me see, I'll give 5 questions, and then you have to select save. See, in the second part, you can see that our section is created, which is section A. Now, to create another section, again, you have to do the same practice, which is add section. I'll name it as section B. And similarly, I'll give 5 more questions in this section also. And then click on save. Now our section A and section B are created. Also, if you want to delete a section, you can do that. You just have to click on the section name that you want to delete. Just click on it and then delete section. So you see our previous section is deleted, and then now we have 2 sections, section A and B. Now how to generate a test, how to add question. So now we have to add question. First, in the section A, click on add question. So you can see there are multiple questions which are tagged with this chapter. We have selected 5 questions, so we can't exceed that. We have to select only 5. So I'll select 5 questions. And then you have to select add to section. As you can see, there is a dialog box which says total 5 questions have been selected. And now also you can see that we have selected 5 questions in section A. Similarly, we have to do the same thing with section B. Click on add section. Now, because we have already selected those 5 questions, these are already marked. Now we have to select some other 5 questions. Just click on those 5 questions. And similarly, click on add to section. Now it says total 10 questions have been selected. 5 for section A and 5 for section B. So the questions are added. Now just click on sections. So this will select all the sections and then click on next. As you can see, there are some instructions which are placed default. In this, you can change these instructions according to your test. Also, some instructions are also placed for the end of the test. So this is the instruction. You can easily edit that, but I'll go with these instructions. So I'll select on next. So these are the preferences. If you want to show your hints or you want to shuffle the questions, you can do that. Let's click on save. It says test created successfully. Just click on OK. Now, if you want to see your test, you can see your test in My Tests. Also, you can see your test in All. As you can see, there are all the tests that we have generated will be listed here. Also, in My Tests that you have created, those tests that you have created will show up here. See, summative assessment 5. If you want to play, you can play that. Just click on play. This is the play button. First, the instructions will be up, and then you can start the test. So first you have to give the answer of E for all the questions and then select next. You can skip those all the questions, but and then you have to type submit. So it says all questions are not answered. Do you want to submit the test? Yes. It will create a report in which it shows that total number of questions in the test is 10. Number of objective questions you have attempted 1, and then percentage marks. So this way you will create your test. Now the fifth component of our book is the My Book, in which you can see two different components. So these components are same for all the chapters. First one is ebook and second one is view PDF. So for first chapter, I'll play an ebook.
Us and the world.
I've played the ebook.
Decode the secret number. Count all the windows that you can see here. Note the number. Now, count all the stars.
The chapter number.
Finally,
clicking on
add the
chapter.
numbers you have got and find the secret number.
So this is the first page. We have given some audio icons over here. So you can play the audio of the specific sections. Also, there is a interactive activity which we have given in I Know. So in this, we have also given the audio. Also, students can type this. If it is green, your answer is correct, and if it's red, then you have given a wrong answer. So we have tried to make our books quite interactive by doing this feature. Now I'll move on to the tools. Now to play the tools, you have to go to the learning tool section. You can see 3 different sections: Atlas, Dictionary, and Toolbox. You have to select on Toolbox and then Mathematics. we have 21 tools, but today I will cover 6 of them which are relevant for our grades 3 to 5. First one would be the geometry box. Just click on play resource. Now, first of all, I would like to ask you, what is the need of geometry box? Why we have created this tool? Can I get some responses in the chat box? Why do you think this tool is necessary? Can I get some responses in the chat box?
Sparsh, one of the teachers is again asking how to go to tools. Maybe you can show it once again later.
Yes, absolutely. Understanding the geometry concepts. Now I'll tell you how to use this geometry box tool. Just click on this arrow and a dialog box will open. This tool can be used to measure a line, to draw a line, to draw a circle of a specific radius, or if you want to draw an angle, you can do that. First, if you want to draw a line, you have to select the scale, and then by using a pencil, you can draw a line of a specific length. Like I've drawn a line segment of 4 centimeter. You can add a text by clicking on the A button, and then you just have to do it like this. Also, if you want to make an angle, you just have to select the protector and then just align it with the line segment. Suppose if you want to make an angle of 50 degree, just give a point at 50 degree and then join that point with the line segment. So this angle you see is a 50 degree angle. If you want to make an angle, you have to use the compass. From this way, you can drag the compass, and how to draw that? Just press it and hold it for a second, and then move it like this. This way, you can create an angle. Similarly, if you want to draw a circle, you just have to hold it from the center and then create a circle like this. So I've just created a circle with radius 3.7 centimeter. This way you can use this geometry box tool. Also, if you want to save your page, you can do that. Just click on the save button. And then it will ask you whether you want to do it in the PNG format, JPEG format, or a PDF. I'll do it in PNG. Then just give a file name and then save. So it will appear it like a PNG image, like this. Now the second tool will be fraction strips. Now, what is the use of fraction strips? We can use this fraction strips tool to compare the fractions or to check whether two fractions are equivalent or not. Okay, so first I'll show you an example. just click on this fraction bar. It will ask you how many equal parts do you want. Let's suppose I want 4 equal parts. I'll divide this bar into 4 sections, 4 equal sections, I would say. See, it has created a bar which is divided into 4 equal sections. You can increase the size. Similarly, if you want to check whether two fractions are equivalent, just click one and then select maybe 2. Align the bars and then just color it. I'm using red color for the above bar. Let's say 2. And then I'm using yellow, orange for the second. If I select on this is stated as labels. It will create a label. So you can see 2 by 4 and 1 by 2. The colors you can see over here, these are completely aligned. So this way you can teach the children that 2 by 4 is equivalent to 1 by 2. Similarly, if you want to compare fractions, suppose if I fill one more red color in this box, see the label 3 by 4 and 1 by 2. Now you can see 3 by 4 is greater than 1 by 2. So this way you can use this tool to compare the fractions or to check whether the two fractions are equivalent or not. You can also give some text or make an equation. Like if I want to write 2 plus 2 is 4, then you can write 2. Then by giving a space plus 2 space equals to 4. And now click on done. So now you can also do that. Also, if you click on this start over, it will ask you, do you want to clear all your work? Press select if you want to. Yes. Now your screen will be blank and now you can start over. The third tool will be elevations. So this elevations tool is important for grade 5 children as we teach how to check the front view, side view and top view of different 3D objects. So here are the instructions that are mentioned here. You have to click on any of the 3D object. Let me select this one. Then it will say next. So now it will say a view from the front. So this way you can teach the children how to visualize the 3D object and how to check what is the front view, side view or a top view. If I click on next, it will show you the side view. Again, if I select next, it will show you the top view. So this tool will be beneficial for you to teach the children how to visualize 3D objects. Now, the fourth one would be the division. Here, you can write any number from 10 to 999. let me select 5, 4, 5 and 7. And now in divisor, you can select numbers 2 to 99. Let me put 54. Just click on determine. As you can see, this regrouping section is hovering, so I'll just have to click on that. First, we have to regroup. Now, again regroup. So these are the ones we have. Now we have to write the answer, or I would say please enter the number. So we have to write the number. So let's say 8. Now see the magic. It will show you the remainder and also the question, as question we have already introduced over here. So this is a very good feature or a very good tool to engage students or to teach division of 2-digit numbers. Now the next one would be multiplication. Here we have to type any number from 1 to 499. I'll put 234 and then I'll select number 3 because we have to enter between 1 to 4. So I'll select 3. Let's click on determine. Now click on once because this section is highlighting, so we have to click on once. Now click on regroup. Tens and then regroup. So by this way, you can easily teach the concept of multiplying 3-digit number by a 1-digit number by this tool. Now, I have a challenge for you guys. So this is one of our tool, which we call it as mind reader. So I have a challenge for you. This way you can find out that which 3D object we are thinking about. So let's suppose I'll give you an 3D object, suppose cube. So I'll select cube. Now it will throw you some questions, and then that will lead to an answer which is a cube. So let's play that. So it is asking, is the surface partly or wholly curved? So for a cube, we know that all the surfaces are flat. These are not curved. So we will select no. Now it is asking, does the shape have 6 vertices? No. It has 8 vertices. Now it is asking, does the shape have 5 faces? No. It has 6. Are any of the faces triangles? No. Do circles form part of the surface? No. Are any of the faces square or rectangular? Yes, square. So we will select yes. Are all the faces identical? So yes, we will select yes. And then now it will throw you the answer. The shape was a cube. So it is asking that those questions which will lead to an answer which is cube. So this is a very, very important and very efficient, I would say, tool to test the knowledge of students. You can see the questions as well. You can see the questions here. And then you can restart also. You can think of some other 3D shape and then start the process as we have did just now.
Sparsh,
Now
there's
the
an
last
ask.
one would be
Sorry, Sparsh, 1 second. After you're done with your
the
tools,
equivalent fraction tool.
Sparsh, am I audible to you?
So there are 7 different sections in this tool. I'll go through one by one. Let's select on one. So it is saying change bar 1 to thirds. So you just have to click on this and then select 1 by 3. Now it is saying change bar 2 to sixths. So we will change it to 1 by 6. Now again change bar 3 to nines. We have to make 1 by 9. And then change bar 4 to 12s. So we will do in 1 by 12. Now select next. Now it says shade in 2 of the thirds. 1, 2. Click on next. Now it will say now shade in the 6s, 9s and 12s. How many sixths are the same as 2/3? Click on this. We have to align the colors. So click on those boxes only. Now write the number. So there are 4 boxes for 1 by 6. Click 4. For 9, we have 6. And then for 12, we have 8. Just click on mark. Now we have given the right answers. So it is showing it is showing as tick mark. Click on next. So it says, so it is true to say that these fractions are equal. 2 by 3 is equal to 4 by 6 is equal to 6 by 9 is equal to 8 by 12. Click on next. What do you notice about these fractions? The numerators are the 2 times table. So there is a table of 2 in the numerators. And in denominators, the table of 3. Next. Knowing this helps us to find equivalent fractions. So this practice will guide you how to check whether the fractions are equivalent or not and how to generate equivalent fractions. Now I'll move on to second. How can we convert fractions without using a fraction wall? So this is a question that it is giving. Click on next. The first bar is split into 5 equal parts like this. Click on next. 4 parts need to be shaded because we have 4 by 5. Just shade 4 parts. Click on next. Now it says the second bar is split into 3 times as many parts because we have to equalize the denominator as per the LCM. Click on next. 3 times as many parts need to be shaded because we did the same for the denominators. We have to do the same for the numerators. So now click on the boxes to align the colors, and then you can count the boxes. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Next, see, the answer is 12. So this way you can check whether the fractions are equivalent, or you can generate the equivalent fractions. It is written every 3/15ths make up 1/5. So these two are equivalent fractions. 4/5 is equal to 12/15ths. Now click on 3. How can we convert 3/5 into 20ths? Click on next. It will say compare denominators. Then the denominator has to be multiplied by 4 because we have to check the LCM also. Click on next. So we have to multiply the numerator by 4. These two fractions are equivalent. Now for 4, what fraction is equivalent to 2/7? Now the denominator is missing. Click on next and then compare the numerators. Now in the numerators, we have multiplied 2 with 4 to make it to 8. Similarly, we have to do the same thing for the denominators. We have to multiply it by 4. These two fractions are equivalent. So this way you can do this. Now use the fraction wall to help you find equivalent fraction to these. Now our first denominator is 3 and our second denominator is 15. So first make the first bar divided into 1 by 3, and then second one would be 1 by 15. Because the numerator is 2, click on 2 boxes, and similarly to align the colors, color as many boxes and then count those boxes. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So the answer is 10. Similarly for 5 by 6 and 12, change it to 12, and above this would be 1 by 6. Now color the 5 boxes because we have 5 by 6. 2, 3, 4 and 5. And similarly for 12, now count those boxes. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So this is also 10. Now for this, we have 10 and 5. So change it to 10. And the below would be 5. Now we have 3. So click on 3 boxes. And similarly for 1 by 10. Now count those boxes. So there are 6 boxes. And then you can select mark it. See, you can do this to generate equivalent fractions. For 6, this is a game which can be played in the class. So in there, it says, welcome to Beat the Clock. Answer as many questions as you can in 2 minutes. When you play it, there will be different questions on equivalent fractions. So this can also be used as an assessment tool for the students. Click on 7. And then this is also an assessment tool where students can analyze their skills and test whether they know the concept of equivalent fractions. Let's suppose I'll select 3 by 27. Similarly, I have to select the exact equivalent fraction to this 3 by 27, which is 1 by 9. when you click 1 by 9 and 3 by 27, it will show it like this. For example, now if I select 8 by 24, select on 8 by 24, and then I have to check its equivalent fraction, which is 4 by 12, which is this. So this way you can do this. I think you have some problems with the test generator. I'll take the test generator once again. For this, you have to go back to the home page. Then you have to select the class and the subject. And then you have to click on the test. Just click on that. Now, to create a test, please click on create test. It will say create test. Just click on this. Now, the class is already selected. You can choose any theme, any chapter, or any concept on which you want to give a test to the students. This time I'll select all the chapters. So this way you can select all chapters. Test name, I'll give a test name. Suppose we can give summative assessment 7. And then you can add different sections to the test. How to do that? Click on add section. Give section name. Suppose I will give section A, and then I want to give 10 questions in it. Just click on 10. Save. Your section A is created. Similarly, you can add different sections. Just click on add section, section B, and the number of questions would be 10. Save. Let's make it a full-fledged exam. Section C and 5. Save. To delete a section, just click on that specific section like this, and then click on delete section. So now you have 3 sections, section A, B, and C. Now to add questions in the specific section, click on add question. Now you have almost 62 pages from which you can select your questions. Let's suppose I want to select questions from division chapter. Just click on that. And that specific concept. So these questions are relevant to this topic. Just click on that. Click on the specific questions. Now I want to give some questions from the measurement chapter. From measuring length. And then click on add to section. It says total 10 questions have been selected because previously we have selected 10 questions. So we can't exceed 10 questions. That's why we have selected 10. Click on OK. Now for section B and section C, we will do the same thing. We will select 10 questions. I'll select all from chapter 1. And then click on add to section. It says total 20 questions have been selected. Click on OK. Now in section C, we have selected that we want to give only 5 questions. So in this, click on add section, add question. And now I want to give questions from the patterns chapter. Click on patterns, and then you can select 5 questions from this chapter. Let me do that. Click on add to section. Now it says total 25 questions have been selected. Click on OK. Now your test is ready. Click on sections to select all these sections, section A, B, and C, and then click on next. Here, some instructions are already there, but if you want to change some instructions, you can do that. It says instructions/messages to be given at the beginning of the test or at the end of the test. You can edit these instructions according to your test. I'm going with these instructions, so I'll click on next. Now it says preferences. If you want to shuffle your questions or you want to show hints, if you are given some hints, you can select show hints. So now to create your test, also if you want to change the test duration, just click on this calendar, and then if I want to give so this is going to be a 90 minutes test, click on OK and save. It says test created successfully. Click on OK. Now you can see your tests in all as well as in my tests. For my tests, click on my tests and click on this play button. So this way you can use this test for your assessment. And if I click on submit, I'll just select one. Now it says what is the dividend if the divisor is 3, quotient is 5, and the remainder is 2. So it will be 17. Let me click on 17 and then I submit. It says all questions are not answered. Do you want to submit the test? Let me click on yes. So it will create a report which says full name, login name, test name that you have created, total number of questions in test, that is 25, number of objective questions you have attempted, number of subjective questions you have attempted. So we didn't attempt any subjective questions, so that is 0. Number of questions you have not attempted, so we have attempted only 1, so that is 24. Number of objective questions you have got correct, 1, and the number of questions that we have got wrong, 0. Total marks for the test 63 and marks scored 1. It will also give you the percentage marks. So this way you can create a test summary after the test. Also, we have some different sections for our book, which are detailed solutions. I would like to show you the detailed solutions of our book. You can see the detailed solutions in the teacher corner. Just click on this teacher corner tab. And then click on class resources. Here you can see all the grades. Just click on, if you want to see the detailed solution of class 3, click on class 3. And then click on mathematics 3. So you can see different components of the chapter, in which first one would be the detailed solution. Second one would be the workbook PDF. Third one would be the answer key of student book, part A and part B both. and then also the workbook answer key. I just want to show you the detailed solution of one chapter. Just click on play resource. Here you can see the detailed solutions of the student book, in which we have given the detailed solutions of student book as well as the workbook. So at the bottom, you can see the detailed solutions of the workbook. Similarly, you can go through the answer key of our student book and our workbook from this tab only. So that's all. I hope this is going to be an informative session for you guys. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thanks a lot, Sparsh. And thank you so much, Yukti. That was a great session. I think there were a lot of queries that were coming on the chat, and Deepa was handling all of them. I really hope there are no more questions left to be answered. Right. Okay, then. So thank you, teachers, for staying till the end of the webinar and taking all the benefits of the explanations that Sparsh and Yukti have given about learning of mathematics in classes 3 to 5. As Ravinder informed you right at the beginning, you will receive a feedback link when the session closes, when the webinar closes, and you are required to fill that in. You will receive your certificate in the email. Again, to remind you that the certificate will be issued only if you have been there for a minimum of 60 minutes. Less than 60 minutes, the system does not pick up your credentials for generating the certificate, right? Okay, then. Thank you very much, teachers. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Tomorrow we will have the session on science, social studies, and EVS. So teachers from your school who are teaching these subjects, please let them know. They would know, but still give them a reminder to come and attend the session and tell them how beneficial you found it to be. Okay, see you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, teachers.
Thank you, teachers.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, summary.